Alors, bonjour tout le monde. J'espère que vous allez bien pendant le confinement. Aujourd'hui, c'est à propos de l'histoire et le capital culturel français. Et notre objectif, c'est d'en savoir plus sur la fête de la victoire en France. Connaissez-vous la fête de la victoire en France? Peut-être oui, peut-être non. On va voir. La fête de la victoire en France est un événement très important pour les Français. Pour commencer, on peut regarder une vidéo en français sur YouTube. Voici le code. Et maintenant, on va apprendre et pratiquer un peu de vocabulaire. Et voici le vocabulaire en français concernant la fête de la victoire en France. Et je voudrais que tout le monde écoute. Alors écoutez et que tout le monde répète. Alors répétez les mots après moi. Fête de la victoire. Allier. Un jour férié. Intervenir. Anéantir. Un traumatisme. Une constitution. La capitulation. La radiophonique. Un chant patriotique. Une commémoration. Célébrer. Le décret. Une réconciliation. Une gerbe de fleurs. Raviver. Un juif. Une juive. Déporté. La tombe du soldat inconnu. Un soldat non identifié. Le symbole, l'opération. Alors, qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais le vocable? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? So here we've got 13 words in French. Numbers 1 to 9 you should be able to get in English, and let's have a look. Possibly 10 and 13 as well. So, I'd like you to stop the video at this point, pauser le vidéo, and see if you can actually work out what any of them mean. Off you go. On y go. Alors, so the first two, we look at those and we can see that one ends in IR and one ends in ER. So what must that mean? Well done if you've guessed they are verbs in the infinitive form. Infinitive form, well done, the verb before it's written out in full. So here we have well done if you've got intervene and well done if you've got to celebrate. Fête de la victoire. So we use the word fête in English. It's a French word, obviously, that we use in English. And we can who's ever been to a school fête or a church fête. Now, you wouldn't say victory fête. We would say in English victory day, or we would also say VE day, Victory in Europe Day. We've then got allier, a key term in history, an ally. And we've got la radiophonique, the radio. And think of phonique being, like phonics, the sounds of the language. Un traumatisme, a trauma. Une constitution, a constitution, a written document. And un chant patriotique. So, patriotique, what does that sound like? Well done if you've got patriotic. So you can be patriotic to your country. We then have un chant. Now, who's heard of the word chant? When you chant something out loud verbally, you might do that at a football match, or you might do that if you're on a protest march, for example. And this is a word that comes from French, which means a song, so a patriotic song. And it comes from the verb chanter, which means to sing. So, une commémoration is, of course, a commemoration. And if we commemorate something, we remember an event that took place in the past. So it's an historical event. We then have la capitulation. So this is a word, a noun, which we would normally say which is used in English, but we would normally say the surrender. and it comes from the verb to surrender, of course, or the verb to capitulate is where capitulation comes from. Capituler en français. We then have 3 other words here. Do you think you can work them out? So we've got un jour férié. We know the word means day. So un jour férié would be a public holiday, or we often call it a bank holiday. And anéantir, think of annihilate, that means to destroy. And then we have le décret is the decree. Well done if you got most of those. So, plus de vocab. Qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais? On verra. So, un soldat non identifié. If you look at that word identifié, you will know it's an adjective. How do we know? It's because it has an E acute accent at the end, l'accent aigu. And an E acute accent is found at the end of the word when it's on an adjective or a past participle in the perfect tense, the past, saying what happened yesterday or this morning. Now, a clue is that in English, you could replace the E acute, l'accent aigu, with ED, so it then becomes identified. Would we say non-identified? Probably not. We would instead say, well done, unidentified, and un soldat, well done if you've got an unidentified soldier. Le symbole, that's dead easy, symbol. L'opération, of course, the operation, but we can also say the process. So the operation in terms of military or surgical. Une réconciliation, reconciliation, where people come together to reconcile their differences. Raviver, bit tricky, but if you thought about to revive, bring something back to life, or of course we have to rekindle, as in to rekindle the flame. We then have here un juif, if you think back to Culture Capital, back in November when we did some work on Interfaith Week with RS, those who have remembered it, well done, of course, a Jew. We then have déporté, using the example above. We have got identifié there. What did we say? Well done if you've got deported. And la tombe du soldat inconnu. So we use the word tomb. And we've got soldier. Think of your history. Well done if you've got the tomb of the unknown soldier. And finally, we have une gerbe de fleurs. Alors, finalement, nous avons 9 mots en français. Mais qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais? So can you see again in this list, guys, any potential cognates that you could identify? Well, we've got un soldat non identifié, perhaps. I would say yes, le symbole, l'opération, une réconciliation. Perhaps raviver, you might be able to work out what that is. Again, what is it? That's correct. It's an ER verb because it ends in ER. Well done. And then we've got un juif, une juive, déporté. That's dead easy, I think. La tombe du soldat inconnu. You might know that because of the word soldat, which looks like English. And then we've got la tombe. The word we use in English is similar to that. And then the last one, une gerbe de fleurs. Those of you who've recognised the word fleur to mean flowers, well done. And une gerbe de fleurs is a wreath of flowers, something that you will place on a graveside. And that traditionally, every year, they're placed on the tomb of the unknown soldier. Okay then. So how did we do then? Let's have a look. Give yourself a few seconds to see if you can work out what words 1 to 8 mean in English. Un jusqu'à 8. Any ideas? No dictionaries allowed, no cheating, certainly no Google Translate, thank you very much. Okay guys, let's have a look. So we've got an unidentified soldier, the symbol. the operation, a reconciliation, to revive, a Jew, deported, the tomb of the unknown soldier, and then, as we said, a wreath of flowers. Well done if you managed to get some of those words in English. C'est magnifique, c'est super. Le voilà. Alors, j'espère que vous avez apprécié le vocable que nous avons appris aujourd'hui sur la fête de la victoire en France, un événement très important pour les Français et même pour nous. So then, folks, I hope you've appreciated the vocabulary you've learnt today on VE Day, which is a very important celebration and event, both in France and here in the UK. Alors, je vous souhaite un bon week-end. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Okay. Now, one thing I forgot to mention about raviver. Who spotted that it's a verb? How do we know it's a verb? It ends in ER. And what do we know about ER verbs? Well done, those who've remembered. They are the largest group of verbs in French.